So it's pretty much just a calculator that's orientated around chemistry-related calculations that you do in BC chemistry. So there's some stoic calculators. When I was making this, I've gone through several versions that I released amongst my friends at the school, and I kind of analysed what they individually wanted in a program for their calculations. So my friend, I won't name him just in case he ever sees this, but kind of just wants speed and usability because it's simple-minded. But so you just enter in a number. Split. I'll just stick to multiply for now. You can convert. Yeah, you can pick an output unit. So to anyone who doesn't do chemistry, this won't really make a lot of sense. But I mean, it's okay. So if I don't know what to say if you don't do chemistry, but it does a lot of convenient calculations for you. I actually just have this part crossed out because it's incorrect with theoretical chemistry. I don't know even why I put it in. But, so yeah, it gives you the percentage mass, composition. It just generally makes your life easier as a chemist. It can also plot subshells of elements, the configurations. So I always do my line. Yeah, so there's the electron configuration in accordance with what, the Bohr model? I don't know. Yes, Bohr model. Yeah, and then there's a Schrodinger model shell configuration and the actual subshell configuration. So at the moment, it doesn't actually give the correct result for transition elements because they follow different principles, but I'm yet to implement that. Okay, so we can balance chemical reactions. So does anyone want to suggest a chemical reaction they know? An unbalanced version of that, or? Nope. Alright. Well. Yeah, I can't even think of the formula right now. Why did you say that before? Okay, actually, before I do this, some chemical reactions are actually impossible to balance, so hopefully this isn't one of them. Oh, good, it's not. Okay. So then you can, to make it even simpler, say you want to work out how much of a chemical, if you've got this much chemical, how much are you going to produce, blah, blah, blah. Stuff like that. That's a pretty simple calculation based off just the coefficients. So in a chemical equation, all it really is just the coefficients and molar masses. It can also give you idea about limits. I don't even remember how to do this anymore. There we go. Yeah, I haven't worked on this in a while, to be honest. I've moved on to better projects. This has been like 3-4 months old. Yeah, and another part I thought about is customizability. Like people they can change the accuracy of all the calculations up to 99 decimal places for every calculation. So every individual calculation is pretty much customizable. You can copy the results to the clipboard, so to make your calculation even faster. Should not. Ta-da! Okay. Yeah, that's my clipboard superpowers. I use the Qt GUI module for the graphics, which is Qt is actually just a really, really good like a GUI library, which is the interface, so what you see on the screen. And I use the PyQt, which is like a library compatible with Python. That's so yeah, I try to make everything customizable. And I don't know, I just added all these retarded features at the last minute. Like you can change just the look of the window. I don't know why you'd want to go to Vista. That's not even the Vista style. It's not displaying well on XP, obviously, because XP doesn't have the necessary, graphic libraries hidden away. So this was Windows 7. It's Plastique is the default. It's just some retarded, I'm not sure what operating system it's associated with, but I just liked it, so I just stuck with it as a default. Also got some pretty terrible ones. A really glitchy one. I hope this doesn't glitch right now, it probably will. Cleans look. It did. Okay. So I'll just switch that really quickly. Alright, and then the last thing, okay, that's still terrible. I thought about is that I have some friends who really, any software they use, they just want to be able to mess with the colors because they're just weird like that. So I created the visual editor, and then I had to try and think of a system as to how to regulate how people could change the calculator. So I thought that I'd want to give them the maximum freedom possible. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There's a grammatical error somewhere, I've been informed by a friend. Probably here. So yeah, I thought I want to give them as much freedom as possible, so I just let them, color any widget on the screen. And a widget is like an element of a... That was enunciate. Okay. Well, anyway, you can apply textures. Every button pretty much can change color. Chuck a gradient on there. It's really... and another thing I wanted to do... Oh, text color. I haven't used this ever. The last thing I wanted to do was for people to be able to share what they make with each other. So I created it as a scheme. So I can actually save this as a scheme. Yeah, I called the extension poodles because, it doesn't really matter what the file extension is. So we'll call this crappy yellow background. I don't know. So yeah, if we default this now. Hey man. Oh, this, if you ever, in software I make, because I hope to get it to field, if you have a button that says I like eggs, don't ever press it. It won't even display what it does. But, it won't press it. But anyway. So yeah, now I can load back where's crappy yellow digit. Yeah. So I've actually included some default visual schemes. I have a friend named Ben naming it, so I thought I'd just abuse him with this scheme. Because he was one of the first people to trial the program. I've made a steampunk one, which I'm quite fond of actually, which is pretty cool. And then there's super steampunk. Yeah, the only problem is this didn't actually really take off because I'm not sure, people just didn't want to put the effort in to make it. It is kind of difficult. One problem I've noticed actually is you can color these tabs, but that means you can't switch tab while you're in the editor. You have to exit, switch. What else is there? There's some pretty... I tried to incorporate... Oh, that's another thing I did. Errors. I just absolutely hate errors in code, so I try to just catch every error possible. What else have I got? Weird errors. If I just show you the... Oh, get out of it. A lot of these just show like the kind of error messages. So it's got it. I have so much error handling. To be honest, if the code itself can't load the necessary files, you even get an error for that. So I think there's actually one hierarchy program file in the end, which if that doesn't run, you're screwed. But if that runs and anything else fails, you get an error message, which, to be honest, is pointless and ridiculous. But at the time, I thought it was a good idea. I also put it in some random Easter eggs just for look. Oh, the subscripting there was just one of the most difficult things I've ever done in programming. I just hate them. I didn't use Unicode subscription, but I did. Just a little Easter egg I decided to add, change the cursor. Yeah, it's not permanent. I suppose I should have made it permanent just to mess with people, but just, yeah, you get to use a unicorn. Calculations are magical. What else is there?
Did you inform the judges of the Easter egg?
No, I don't believe I did. What else have we got? Free file. Okay, I made all of this. What is it? UI files. Oh, it's right in front of me. I made this in Python at the time, which it's not a bad language, I suppose. I don't program in Python anymore, but I did at the time. I'm not going to be able to open these with you. So I have a lot of different program files because they all contain different elements of the interface that you see, because you often need a lot of. Here's the raw code of the main file that runs, which is so messy. It still has my fix list that I never got around to fixing. There's a lot of code. Oh, there's a lot of functions in here, about 12, that you can never actually interface with the program, but they do a bunch of random things. Like I have a redox reaction balancer that can balance redox reactions in both acidic and basic environments. If you don't do chemistry, that's not going to mean much, but yeah, it's pretty terrible. There's the launch right there. That's my favourite part. Just bringing it all together. What else? Not sure what is texture files. What have I got? Data files. Yeah, I don't know why. All my data files. Oh, so it reads all the atomic masses, of the elements, pretty much off a tablature version of the periodic table, up to, what is that, 12 decimal places, I don't know. It did skip some elements though. It goes up to, there was an error I had to account for in the program, but that doesn't matter. And just to annoy the judges, I suppose, I didn't give them file extensions, so it's just really difficult to open these. Current style sheet. Oh, that's related to the graphics that you see on the screen. I guess that's it. Yeah.
So what was your inspiration for making this application?
Well, I'm quite lazy in chemistry, and all the calculations. There's a joke going around our school that we often just like to say that chemistry is advanced mathematics and just snigger, because the most we do in chemistry is learn complex ideas and then just relate it to really simple mathematics. It doesn't really actually relate. At our level of understanding it does, but so yeah, and these were just really simple operations. You just do divisions and sums and that's it. So I didn't see why I should be doing these calculations, so I just made a program that does it all for me.
Don't forget the repetition.
So how long did it take you to make this?
Well, it's gone through several versions. I started with just a simple GUI command prompt that literally just was Windows command prompt. What is that? But yeah, and it's gone through revision history since then.
Can I get my minions who, other than the ones who Andrew is taking responsibility for at the moment, to come with me?
What was the question? Oh yeah, I've been working on it for about, this particular version was I probably worked on it for about 4 or 5 months. But a lot of the code I just copy and paste from the previous versions I'd made and made them compatible with the new libraries and things like that.
So you were so lazy in chemistry that you didn't.
Oh, I have a 50-minute train ride to school and then from, so it's just me and my crappy little tablet over there every morning and afternoon, so this is what I spend it on. So like, no, in this computer, there was something else, I can't remember what it was about this program. It won't block the computer, no. Sorry?
Yep. So we've got a question here.
So did you do this completely in Python, and what software development kit did you use? Or
Yeah, I used, so it was written in Python 2.7. If I just go back to the actual code. Okay, no, that's just the output of a dodgy compiler. Okay, I'm going to have to go over it. Alright, so I used Python 2.7. I actually used a lot of inbuilt Python libraries, system and get pass. I have to use system just because my GUI library, PyQt, just relies on that basically to launch the application. Yeah, so I use the decimal module rather than storing everything in. Oh, that's a problem early on. I was just using inbuilt Pythonic floats. I don't know if anyone knows about IEEE, but you can't represent every decimal in a binary number. Your computer will actually just round it the closest number. Well, we don't have a Python interpreter on this computer, do you? So basically, the common error in Python is you take 0 plus 1 plus 0 plus 1 plus, 0.1 plus 0.1 plus 0.1, then you subtract from that 0.3, and you expect 0, but you actually get 5.557 something to times 10 to the power of negative 23, because it's just rounding off to the nearest number. So, sorry?
Seems legit.
Yeah, so I really couldn't use that because that screwed up the program entirely very early on. So I switched to the decimal module, which basically stores numbers as it'll store a decimal pretty much as a string, which is like a word kind of. It just stores each number, each digit separate from the other, and that allows me to get as much accuracy as the user wants. Everything internally runs at 120 decimal places of accuracy, but the user can only go to 99 max. Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry, and I also created the saving stuff in with CS style sheets. Can't remember the name. Sorry.
What happens when you click I like eggs?
Nothing actually very exciting happens now. I've just played it up. Are these?
Will you be distributing it?
Yeah, it's been, some friends from school have uploaded it on their website. I'm not sure what happened with that. So it's in the public domain. I did have a Google site dedicated to it, but I think I actually took it down in the end because there are some things about this program, upon reflecting, that I no longer like as a program. So I'm actually working on a new version called Chemistry Calculator Revolution, which actually, interior-wise, it does everything completely different. And it won't just give you a number as the program, it just spits you the result. This one will actually teach you step by step the calculations involved and things like that. So that will be up maybe, I don't know, in 2 months or so. So it might be hard to define this because I actually want to delete all copies of it because I personally hate it now. But yeah.
Does anyone else have any questions? No? Great. Well, thank you very much, Tyson. Well done. Now, one thing that